And as a woman, I'd like to say that, no. Genuinely, just so y'all know, we had no idea if this was going to be a badass women's panel or if it was going to be a mystery panel. This is why it's called a mystery panel, FYI. There's these certain slots in the schedule, and I don't know if I could get certain people at certain times because everybody's so busy. And what ended up happening this year was every single one of the mystery panelists happened to be a badass woman, and we're like, that's kind of a perfect storm. So that's why we have all the beautiful and talented ladies that are on this panel tonight. So you all know the deal. Who has any questions? Yes, right here. Right here. You were just in the last panel. You were an Orphan Black. You were a very lucky person. Wait, hold on. No, you were an Orphan Black, weren't you?
Yeah.
You were.
She's the one who really liked it. She nabbed the ticket.
Wait, who has a question? That's all I care about right now. Can we get her a microphone? Hello? Darling.
You want mine?
Can we give her a microphone? Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm a
Hi.
freelance stage manager in New York, and I was wondering what qualities do you like in a good stage manager or the crew type people that you work with?
Ooh.
It's a really good question.
Ladies. Yvette?
Yeah.
You want to knock that out?
I love that you got the one that wasn't holding the mic and ready to go. Hey guys, how you doing? You know what? I kind of think no matter what your job is in entertainment or in the world, just do it with excellence.
Yeah.
I remember Martin Luther King used to say, if you a ditch digger, just dig the mess out that ditch. So I kind of feel like, be professional, be on time, and make sure that you not doing your job doesn't affect someone not being able to do their job. So I believe if we all rise to the occasion and show up and do everything with excellence, you're great. So as long as you are doing something you love and giving everything you have to it, you'll be a great stage manager or ditch digger or, that's it. That's my thing.
Amen. Boom. Absolutely.
I think being collaborative is really important because one of the best lessons I've learned on Grimm is that there are probably 150 people on set, and really, truly, we cannot do anything without everybody working together. And the set PAs are just as important to the production as the cast is. So I think, and David Gentoli is actually directing an episode coming up, and he and I were talking about how, because it's the first time he's directing, he really needs to sort of like lean in and accept help from other people and be willing to take creative guidance from others.
Yeah. Anybody else? Chiming in?
Make sure the AC works.
Wait a minute. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, are you not?
No, this is just San Diego.
Okay.
But seriously, I am a freaking nightmare on set when I'm very uncomfortable. So you have to know your actors and know, because I feel like when you're working, like everything everyone's doing is make the actors comfortable, and then we can all move on. Because if you have a psychotic actor on set, it's the fucking worst. You know it's
So what's it like being a psychotic actor?
Well,
Do tell.
they make sure the AC works for me. But
Can we pump it up anymore? It's as high as it is.
I also feel like, as the actor, fucking reel it in. You know what I mean? Like, don't make work harder for everyone else. So, i.e., be collaborative, and understand that other people are there putting in their time, because the crew is putting in way more time than you are as an actor. So if you respect each other, it's going to be fine.
Vanessa, Katie?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with everything everybody has said. I think, like you were saying about the collaboration of it, as long as everybody involved understands that the only star is the story,
Yeah.
Amen.
then we can all come together and be the family we need to be and have equal share in telling the story. Like you were saying, everybody is equally important, equally necessary. And then can I, that happens, whatever that is.
You start stirring.
All right, yeah.
Make soup.
I think the passion is a big thing when people like their jobs. And we've had a lot of people on our set for Legends be promoted because, like, if you love what you're doing and you're passionate about it, it stands out so much. And for us, it's like the biggest breath of fresh air. And we are very vocal about it. We're like, this person, we need them, and like, because we need you. Then we're like, oh my God, I can't live my life without this person. Like, they need to be promoted. Can't lose them. Got to take care of them. So really having that extra thing, which it's not like anything that someone's going to tell you to do. It's things that you do because you want to do them, and that makes the world of difference. And like that saves our lives on our show, is when we get so lucky to find people that love doing what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, by the way. Very good question. Yes, right up there with the red scarfy thing. I don't know what that is. It looks like a scarf.
Give it to me.
Hi, I'm Zach.
You are Negan.
They took Lucille away from me at the door. I had to
Good
check
for
her.
them.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming. Yvette Nicole Brown, I love you, girl.
Hi, honey. I love you too, girl.
So my question is for all of you, but I follow you on Twitter, and I knew you were having a hard time with trolls.
Woo, those trolls. Y'all.
So, yeah, I'm wondering, as females in this industry, how do you deal with that?
Look, this is, I sound like a broken record every time I talk about this, you guys, but we are all in this together as human beings on this planet, and we have got to be better to each other. Do you guys understand what I mean when I say that? Like, please, that is a hand clap. If you're gonna clap for anything today, that is a hand clap. I did I moderated the American Gods panel today, and we talked about this thing. It was a great, not because I moderated, it was a great panel, but we talked about the emphatic trigger. And there's something about seeing a human being's face when you're talking to them and understanding, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Sally looks mad, or Sally looks sad, or, oh, Sally loved that, right? And so it almost helps you gauge, did I go too far? And because we're in these comment sections and we're just willy-nilly, we're in our room or wherever we are, and we're just typing whatever pops in our minds, not thinking that a human being on the other end of that is going to read what we said, and it might be a bad day for them, or it might be the last straw for them. So we have to be careful what we say online. And know this, if you see my Twitter page, I get people told. I believe in it. Let me tell you why. Because if your mama didn't raise you right and you don't know how to be kind, I'm gonna teach you today what you do and do not say in public. Okay? But I am always respectful. And that's the other side of it. You can speak about anything. We can disagree on 1,000 different things, but don't call me out my name. The stuff that Leslie Jones has dealt with this week, I don't even know where to start with that. So we just gotta be better. So trolls. Trolls. Don't be a troll. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's it. I'm sorry.
Unless you're like the really cute little one.
If you got the red hair, the like rainbow hair, be a troll. But as a human being, do not be a troll.
This is something I feel really, really passionately about, both because I've been dealing with a little bit of harassment myself, but mainly the political and social climate of the world right now and this country is so us versus them. Yes. And the last thing we need more of is more of that. Yes. And especially when it's like, there's infighting among fans of the same show. Like, we are all here because we love the same show. So why is it like ship wars and all this stuff? And I mean, it happens. And there's like slanderous rumors going around, and I know. But I actually, I'm like so nervous. I'm so sorry.
Honey, we're here with
really
you. Don't be nervous. We're all together.
My fiance and I were talking about it because he was like, just ignore, and that's typically what I do, and that's what the block button is for, and that is what the mute button is for. And if somebody is harassing you and making you feel bad about yourself, there is a way to report or just stop it. Yeah. But really, at the end of the day, you do you, and you're calling them out on that. And I typically am like, I just don't want to see it because...
But you need to find peace for yourself. Like, everybody shouldn't call people out. Like, if it's going to vex your spirit, block and mute and move on. But I believe one of the calls in my life is to show love and demonstrate kindness. And so if you're coming to my page and you're not bringing it, I'm going to show you what it is, then I'm going to block you.
Does that work?
It does work. It does work. Because, again, if you talk about the emphatic trigger, they don't realize that some of them are horrible, and they do know. But the majority of them don't know that they don't realize they're talking to a human being.
How many times have you gotten, oh my God, I didn't even think you were going to read that. Really crazy? You sent it to me.
They send it to you. Exactly, because, Beretta, they're not thinking that a human being exists. Or they think because you're on television, you magically don't have feelings. You stop caring if someone calls you fat or ugly or stupid or untalented. Nobody wants to hear that about themselves. You wouldn't want to hear it about you. So don't send it to your favorite actor or singer.
Especially if you don't use your own picture in your profile.
Especially if you're an egg. If you're an egg, stop it. Just stop it.
I'm surprised that it works because I mean, for me, anytime that I've ever tried to engage back, like I find that I'm not necessarily dealing with a rational person.
Right.
So it's not like I'm like, well, actually, let me explain to you, or
The first response back will tell you the type of dialogue you're going to have.
Well,
And
I read through their tweets.
you can do that too.
I go because I'm like, oh, you're fucking batshit and might find me, and that's when I block. If you're batshit,
You know what
I'm
I say?
Because nothing scares me more than crazy.
Yeah.
Because crazy doesn't care.
Yeah.
Crazy's gonna come find me.
Yeah.
So I block. If I feel like you posted some sensible shit, then I'm like, oh, really, bitch? Okay, let's talk. And then I get into it.
Well, it's so funny too because sometimes I get really mean comments and I'm like, who would say that? And I click on the profile and it's like a 12-year-old girl. And I'm like, what makes you feel entitled to like say these things? But I feel like a lot of putting other people down have to do with building a sense of community. Because we all want to feel like we belong to something, right? And if we're putting someone else down, it makes us feel more than. So I feel like it's really important in this time more than ever to build that sense of community, whether that's shedding light and love with people wherever you go, or if that's being like, I really support these people, let's do everything we can to lift them up. It's creating that community where you can lift each other up and not put them down and find power in lifting each other up. Because it's
Especially
really powerful.
women.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's that barrier that's there that has been really lengthened and widened because of social media. That is why you feel that, or these trolls feel that they are on one side and who they're speaking to is on the other side, and why, you know, it's why our climate has gotten to where it is, the social and political climate we were talking about a moment ago. It's because of the other that has just been so blown out of proportion these days, where if we sit for a second and think about our unity, and I know that that sounds really like,
No, it's not.
but you know what I'm saying?
Oh, we have a church right now. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Well,
Oh,
say,
all the same.
I said something. Okay.
Look, if you're gonna
Because
come
we
back,
could
then
go
come
in
back.
in 2 minutes. Zach will be running. We can go in. We don't want
all
to.
the way.
I'll be running some
in.
flags across the stage.
I'm telling you, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
We'll do it.
But yeah, it's like if we really sit and think about the unity, you know, in humanity, and how I really am no different than you, I am you, you are me, then automatically I'm not going to speak to you that way, whether it be, you know, through a screen or in person or, you know, whatever, because I understand that I love myself and I love you in that same way. But that barrier is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
But it's
and bigger
also
these
just
days.
knowing a troll is a troll is a troll, and just hit block and keep moving. Because you don't want to engage more sometimes. It's too creepy. And I'm a big scaredy cat. I really do feel like people are gonna find me.
Yeah, I think it's a personal choice, and everybody
is.
has to do what feels right for them. For me, just to block, if I know that there's a teachable moment and I don't try to take that moment and teach that person, I have not done my job. But that's my job. Like, that's my lane. Know your lane. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a different lane, so know your lane.
And know the situation.
That's
because
right.
Each situation is going to be different. You got to be sensitive.
Right. And I don't engage with everybody, but if I feel in my spirit this is somebody I need to let them know that kindness is a choice and you can make it every day, then I'm going to let them know. So it's a choice, though. Everybody has to make that decision.
Amen.
As a woman, no, actually, the only thing I would add to this conversation is, by the way, you guys just had a fantastic 10 minutes on the fuckery of life right now, and thank you for that. But I would add, and y'all can weigh in on this, but one of the things that I find, and it's unfortunate, right? So many, actually all of the pain, all of the hate, all of the anger, all of the things that we feel thrown at us, whether it's online, which unfortunately anonymity has given this incredible mask to evil and to anger and to darkness. But if you drill even deeper into that, what you find on the other end of that anonymity and those kids who are online gaming, social media, who are these 12-year-olds, by the way, and 32-year-olds and 52-year-olds. I mean, it is there. That shit knows no age and no race and no name. But the point is, at least what I believe ultimately is, every single one of those people is hurting. They are hurting. And the only way that they know how to feel some kind of belonging, you're talking about, Vanessa was talking about the belonging that we have as a community into love, which 100% in the face of that darkness, we need to, galvanize and love. But they're looking for, they'll even find places where other people are haters so they can at least feel a part of the haters. They feel welcomed. And those people, so whenever you're reacting to someone who's being completely belligerent and a complete dickhead, if you need to block them, cancel them, cancel them, I know, right? Listen, tequila happens. Block them or mute them, thank you. Or engage with them. I mean, look, I've gotten into shit before because I've engaged with people, and I try to do it in the sweetest of ways. I'm very kind. I put a little winky face on it. People give me shit about stuff. I'm like, oh, you want to talk about truth? Let's have a conversation about truth. I'm gonna roll my sleeves up and let's get into the logic of your crazy idea of the way the world works. But they have a crazy idea of how the world works because they, unfortunately, probably had a really fucked up childhood. They had a really fucked up world that they grew up in, and they don't know. So the more that we can hit them with kindness and love, because hate only begets hate. Darkness only begets darkness. We will not be able to end that shit unless we can, those who know light and know truth and know kindness and know love, can, in the face of that, go, hey, and by the way, it only works if somebody's actually receptive to it, which is unfortunate, and a lot of people are not, and that's fine, but that's on them. If we at least start from a place of, oh, I see that you're upset about something, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk. And don't be condescending and don't be anything else, but like, hey, let's work this out. And if you then at least initiate the kindness and the love, and if they resist and they go, no, fuck you, I'm out of here, then you go, hey, that's on you. Now that's completely on you.
But you've also showed them something they probably haven't felt before.
100%. And it may be so alien to them. They're like, I don't know what this is. This is kindness. I don't understand what kindness is.
And I didn't think you were going to read it.
Yeah. And yeah, totally. Which is but it's still so sad. Like, how do people not understand what kindness is? But there are so many people. So the only thing I would add to all that is whatever you engage in the world, social media, online gaming, Pokemon Go, bumping into each other in a park, because we're doing it. I got a Scyther the other day, okay. Point is, do it in love, do it in kindness. And if somebody does not reciprocate that back right in that moment, then boundary. And we're all entitled to the healthy boundaries that we have. And by the way, you might have unhealthy boundaries, but those unhealthy boundaries are only gonna affect you. They're not gonna affect anybody else. Right. So, just to add to that. Next question, please. Yeah, right back there.
Hello. This question is for Saniqua and Yvette and Retta and Vanessa. Do you feel like there's a different standard for badass women of color in Hollywood?
If I could whistle, I'd whistle too. Anyone want to take that first? You know what? I'll take this one. As a woman of...
I don't know that if there's a different standard. I will say there are less opportunities. And in which case, then maybe, yes, then you have to show more and be more aggressive with your abilities, maybe? I don't know. I know that it took a long time for me to get to a place where people are like, oh yeah, Retta. 7 years on a show. So, and I know there are people who have had 1 year on a show and then they star in a movie with Tom Cruise. We live different lives. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I guess there are different standards and levels to which you have to get to before you can. I'll never be an ingenue. I missed that in high school. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but you have to find your path. You have to find what works for you. And I feel like for me, I don't know if in the business for me, I'm good in the room. I'm good in meeting the people and doing the conversation and being like, and then endearing myself, and then I'll.
Was that a language? What was that? People fall for that. They really.
As Yvette said, I found my lane, and I know what works for me, and I know that I'm good in a conversation. I need to stop saying it, but I hate auditioning, and that is not my vein of gold. But if you want to have a fucking conversation, chances are you're going to want to work with me. And I know that works for me. So when I get a meeting, I'm like, yes, I'm about to win these bitches over. And that's what works for me.
Vanessa?
I feel like, yes, there have definitely been moments in my career where I was like, wow, okay. I remember when I was very young, starting out in the business, an agent wouldn't take me because I was too ethnic looking. And I would go out for Latin American parts all the time and be cast as a Spanish girl, and I'm like, I'm Filipino, which is amazing. But I was like, it's just interesting how like certain people, of course, want to put you in a box. And I think that it's your job to work hard to push those walls aside and to have people see you as you, not see you for a race or a color. And in this business, it is purely about opportunity, you know, like what people give you the chance to do. But I think it's also not putting myself in a box that has helped me a lot. I remember I got an audition to be on a Broadway show, Gigi. And I was like, there's no way they're gonna hire me as a French girl in the 1900s. No way. And I was like, I mean, but then again, you never know. Like, I might as well give it a shot. And I got the part, and it was my first Broadway show I've ever done. It was like one of the most exciting things that I've done in my career. But I think it's definitely about just like working hard, not necessarily looking at race or a color, just knowing like, if we're masters at what we do, we're gonna be great and we're gonna shine no matter what.
Boom.
Yeah.
Awesome. Saniqua?
This is actually kind of like a confession. I'm gonna be real transparent with you.
Ooh,
That's what Nerd HQ is all about. Talk to us.
Lean in,
Talk
lean
to
in,
us. What do you want to
lean
say?
in.
Is it an exclusive? Talk to us.
Tell us.
So recent. Suddenly it's all the mics, and I'm like, right. But the show, Walking Dead, there have been
Little show.
There have been times where I, as Sasha, am a very complicated person. You know, there's a lot going on in my life. I've been through a lot. But I have found the restrictions for women of color creatively. In the midst of telling a story, I will get the sort of note that, oh, well, maybe not so angry. Let's not do angry, because, you know, and I'm thinking, well, all right, I've really imagined this world. I know exactly what's going on in this world, and I really am living truthfully from it. I am angry right now because of what's happening to me. Can I please just tell my story truthfully? But they don't want me to be the angry black woman. And it's so sad when you think of it, if you think of just authentic storytelling. It so happens that sometimes in a story, you're going to be angry and you're gonna be a black woman. So, but people are so afraid of it, and it's not just Walking Dead. It's happened to me before as well, and it's not even that it's something that I go to because I have a theater degree, and in school it was always like, you know, anger is the easiest choice. You know, they would say going straight to anger is like cheating or something like that. They used to tell us in school, and so it's not that it's the first choice I ever go to. You know, I was trained out of that, right? But when it is time and appropriate to be angry, I do feel the restriction there of, oh, well, let's not, because, we don't want it to seem like, and I think that that's kind of sad.
What do they want? Sassy? Nothing makes me crazier than seeing the word sassy. I see it all.
Yeah.
You know what it is, you guys? It's everyone wants to be known for the fullness of who they are. And Retta just brought up sassy. I remember I used to hear about the sassy black woman. You hear that almost as much as the angry black woman. Everybody's sassy at some point in time. I always bring up Doris Roberts from Everybody Loves Raymond. Nobody was sassier than she was, but she was never defined as a sassy white woman. She was defined as a funny actress. B. Arthur, same thing. But when it's a black woman who pulls that out of her toolbox, all of a sudden it becomes her defining trait. And another thing about the anger of black women, we got a reason to be angry. It's been rough for us for about 400 years, but that's whatever it is. Aside from that, a lot of times the anger of black women is actually the passion of black women. You guys have watched me up on this stage. Everything I've talked about, I have passion about. And maybe if you turn the sound off and you looked at my face, you might go, oh, she's so angry. No, I'm passionate about people caring about each other. I'm passionate about everybody having opportunities. I'm passionate about everybody on a set being equal. So if you watch me do this, it looks like I'm mad. And it's just the passion inside of me because what I'm talking about matters. And it should matter to you. So I think the measuring stick we use to define people of color, or let's say this, the measuring stick you use to define people that are not like you need to always check yourself. Too many times we allow the person we're judging to be the person that has to explain your actions. Explain what you took from my actions. Explain why you inferred that from my actions, because that's probably something that has to do with you. And that's some time you need to spend fixing some stuff in your lane. And I tried to say hi to you, and you didn't say hi to me when we was on the street. I waved at you. Didn't I wave at her? I just waved because I saw you at the panel, wanted to say hi to you, and you just looked at me like I didn't matter.
What just happened?
I'm just, why you got to do me like that? And we had a good time at the panel, and I saw you later and wanted to say hello. That's all.
You just switched gears like a professional right now. That was, I'm going to drop some knowledge and also, what's going on, girl?
But I'm passionate about being ignored on the street. I'm passionate about it.
As a sassy white man, I think that we need to work on this. Next question, please. I'm going to go right up there. Yes, you. Who, me? What up, girl?
Hi, friends. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being here. All of you mean so much to at least one person in this room.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put that. Absolutely.
So I guess my question is for all of you, who are people in your life, inspirational women that you look up to, whether just in professionally or personally?
I love Carla Gugino. I got to work with her in Sucker Punch, and she's one of those women that is just so sexy. Like, she doesn't even try. She just naturally oozes sex appeal. And it's just the fact that she, is so passionate about what she does, the things that she's into. Like, she's the woman who always has chocolate in her bag, which I'm down with, and essential oils, and, eats with her fingers, and is just, very sensual, and yeah.
Sounds like someone has a girl crush.
Big girl crush on her.
What is her phone number? What is it?
It's taken, sorry.
It's taken, yeah.
But yeah, I just adore her, and she's also a phenomenal actress.
Anybody else want to chime in before I start calling you out?
I mean, I think that we have some pretty amazing female politicians that a lot of people can be looking up to right now, like Elizabeth Warren, Hillary Clinton,
Elizabeth
and so on.
Warren.
And speaking
Hillary
about
Clinton.
harassment, I can't think of a single political figure who's been harassed more than Hillary Clinton has, especially during this campaign and over the last 20, 30 years. But really, I just love women who are brave and outspoken and own themselves and own their opinions and their political opinions and are they're respectful. Of people have dissenting opinions, but I've been on social media a little more lately, and really looking to inspiration to actresses like, Olivia Wilde or Sophia Bush, who are really, basically activists and who are like, this is what I believe in. You don't have to like me, you don't have to follow me, but I'm not going to suppress it and I'm not going to swallow it because I'm afraid about people liking me or not. But I think there's, not to detract at all, because everything the four of you said was incredibly inspiring. But to your question, I'm so boring. But like we have so far to go as far as gender inequality is concerned, from the pay gap to, just so many things. So in Hollywood too, whether it's how many writers are on the staff that are minorities or women, or directors who are minorities or women, or the cast. I feel really blessed. I'm on a cast with an African American man and a Filipino man, but like the more the merrier, which is why I love shows like Orange is the New Black. Like that's what the world looks like. All right, I'm done.
I'm fascinated with driven people. I'm a comedian, and I started writing a show called I Think I Might Be Lazy.
Wait, I'm sorry. Before you get into this, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Vanessa and Katie have to leave us right now. I know, it's the worst. It's the worst
I know, I
news
see
ever.
this little sign, Vanessa and Kate. I was like,
That's how I
Vanessa and Katie
knew.
have heart out?
Yeah.
Now? I was like, what do we have?
Yeah.
You gotta go right now is what it means.
Can we please give a warm round of applause to both Vanessa and Katie?
Thank you guys so much for having us.